on the job, you can see that. All my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frame.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Miami. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. 49ers offense coming out here led by the 28-year-old quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who turned 28 last month, and this is his first year as an every-week starter. You remember last season, all the hope, all the expectation, lost in week 3 to injury. But this year, I think he and the rest of this team, they've broken everyone's expectations, double-digit victories. And Jimmy Garoppolo's had a strong run game to rely on, but he's had some good performances himself, maybe most notably week 14 out-dueling Drew Brees with a 4-touchdown performance in a big win at New Orleans. And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Tyrann Mathieu's instincts as a defensive back, I believe, are second to none. And that allows him to play all over the secondary. He can line up as an outside corner, inside in the slot, and that's difficult to do because you get so much traffic in there. And then, of course, they can also move him back as a safety. Anywhere you put him, though, you know he's going to end up around the football.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Garoppolo, the intended receiver Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Garoppolo, and that will be incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Always fun to see Patrick Mahomes, and we'll get a look at him here as he brings out the Chiefs offense. Likely, though, not going to be a second straight MVP season for Patrick Mahomes. Not anywhere near the 50 touchdowns that he threw a season ago, but maybe a more mature Patrick Mahomes this year. What do you say?
I would agree with that. And remember when we started this season, we kind of joked a little bit, a little tongue-in-cheek, that if he doesn't throw 50 touchdowns, everybody's going to talk about what a bad year Patrick Mahomes had. Don't forget, missed some time with the knee injury.
Yeah.
Kansas City's defense had its struggles. But bottom line is they went to New England not long ago and won. They didn't do that last year. Lost in New England twice, right? I mean, lost New England once in the regular season, then at home in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game in 2018. So to see that maturation where he could find a way to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots, I would agree that he's a better quarterback this year, even if the numbers don't support it.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He is going to find Hill here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 76 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. San Francisco coming back out here, CD. This is a franchise that this year will end a 5-year playoff drought. That's the good news. Great record, but it could have been even better, really. You think about some of the heartbreaking losses. Overtime to Seattle, a field goal at the horn by Justin Tucker and the Ravens, and then that real shocker against Atlanta Week 15, Julio Jones, the touchdown, no touchdown right there at the goal line.
And that's the one that we shouldn't have been as surprised, only for this reason. They were so injured, so beat up, so many starters not playing in that game. And they took Atlanta to the limit, although I guess we would say Atlanta took them to the limit and found a way to win. But I do think that this 49ers team, with help in the playoffs, is dangerous as any team in the NFC.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Out comes Kansas City's offense, and Charles, a 4th straight AFC West title for the Chiefs, but still no Super Bowl appearance in 50 seasons. Could this year be different?
I think it could, and I was skeptical about it mid-season. But the reason I say yes, defensive line playing much better. I'll give you 2 names. Derek Nottie, defensive tackle. Chris Jones, defensive tackle, defensive end. They're stuffing the run game better. They're pushing the pocket against the passers. That's helped out the back end. And, of course, any team that has Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, is always a threat. This is a good year for Kansas City to make that run.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a second down and 6 coming up. They'll come up second and 6 now from the 24. On second down, it's Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now here comes Kansas City. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. He won't go down. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. Not that time for Watkins.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners. Guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard to get a pass on Richard Sherman.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Second down, McKinnon. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4. The Niners on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. 7 consonants, 1 vowel. Here's Juszczyk. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line.
So, partner, next time we see this coaching staff, I want you to have my back here because that was really kind of a white flag type of a play, almost a little bit of a surrender. Just turn and hand it to the big guy. Get what you can and be prepared to kick the ball away.
Here's Hill on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Here's Damian Williams making his way back out. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. This is caught. Watkins. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Mahomes now to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. It's Hill, complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Butker's kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore number 1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition, And us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together and the defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
A dump down to McKinnon. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Garoppolo. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is taken at his 4. Oh, what a move. And now running right through him. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Butker now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Damian Wilson in on the stop. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. On 2nd and 12, Garoppolo, screen play, McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. And now Garoppolo lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mahomes going to throw. Staying on his feet. Eluding the pressure right. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Chiefs defense making their way back onto the field. Recovered the fumble up on the scoreboard. They've got the momentum.
And that's a confident group that we see hitting the field again. Just what you talked about. Took away the ball the last possession. They feel like they can go ahead and do it again. They are locked in and feeling good about how this game is going.
And they're playing free. They're playing loose.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. You know, sometimes it can be a bad thing if you're too free, too loose, and you give up your responsibilities. But not this unit. They are ready to go.
The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 7 yards there and a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's second down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Niners on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
14 yards that time for number 14. They'll try and run. This is Williams. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
And that is caught by Watkins for a Chief touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is now 24. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence.
And now Garoppolo lost the football. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Nice job by Juan Thornhill there to get a hand in and break up the play. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Still on his feet. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That one complete to Hill. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, you know, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, you know, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Garoppolo to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Here we go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Garoppolo looks to throw. Now Garoppolo lost the football. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space. But now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 35. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Now Garoppolo over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and it'll bring up 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Garoppolo now. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down. Kyle Shanahan's made the decision. They're going on 4th down. Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. Mahomes going to throw it here. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Sammy Watkins the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. A gain there of 21 yards. Mahomes now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. And with that, we sign off from Miami.